Hello everyone, and in this video I'll be talking about discourse markers. What is discourse markers? Well, discourse markers are words and phrases used in speaking and writing to signpost discourse. Discourse markers do this by showing terms, joining ideas together, showing attitude, and generally controlling communication. Some people regard discourse markers as a feature of spoken language only. First things first, there are four types of discourse markers. The first one is interpersonal, and then there's referential, and then structural, cognitive, and just cognitive. Interpersonal markers are used to indicate relationship between the speaker and the listener. Referential markers, usually conjunctions, and are used to indicate the sequence, causality, and coordination between statements. And structural markers indicates the hierarchy of controversial actions at the time in which these actions are spoken, indicating which statement the speaker believes to be most or least important. Cognitive markers reveal the speaker's thought process about what he or she has just said. First, I'll be talking about interpersonal markers with the function mark shared knowledge. The first one is see. For example, see what I mean? It's like asking the other person if you know what you mean, right? See what I mean? See what I mean? And the next one is you know. It's like saying, you know what I mean? You get it? You know? It's like this, you know? Yeah, something along the lines of that. You know? The next one is you see. For example, you see, Billy, this is how you become a man. For example, you see, it's pretty straightforward. It's like saying, do you see what I mean? Something like that, do you see? Next up is listen. This one is pretty straightforward. For example, listen. Hey, listen to me. Listen to me. And next up in interpersonal, there's another function which is indicates agreement, confirmation, and acknowledgement. First one there is okay. This one is you know this, you heard this, saying okay to a question or something that asked to you. For example, are you okay with this? Or okay, let's do that, and so on and so forth. Next one there is oh. You might not notice, but oh can be an agreement. For example, oh, I see what you mean. And another one there is oh, so it's like that. Oh, so it's like this. Yeah, something along the lines of that. It's not pretty common, but you use it without your knowledge usually. Next one, another straightforward answer. Right. Right you are. Right, exactly what you mean. Right, yeah? Am I right? For example. And that is right. Am I right? Another straightforward one, I mean, it's just all answers. They're all straightforward. For example, yeah. Yeah, it's the next one. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, right on. And the last one there is I see. I see what you mean. I see. I get ya. I see. And so on and so forth. There's a lot more, but that's all I'll be talking about interpersonal today. Next, I'll be talking about referential. The function is marks the relationship between utterances which precedes following direct message. So it's a referential message or a reference to something. The first conjunctions I'll be talking about is the cause. For example, because and cause. It's like saying, because of this, I do that, or because of you, It's the same thing, because and cause. It's like saying, because of something in the past, and then you do this right now. Like saying because and now. Next, I'll be talking about consequence. The conjunction consequence is so. So is like saying something. First, the first tense will be like I do this, so I do that. It's like the consequence of the first tense to the second tense. Next is contrast. There's two words, but and and. But is like saying, it's but contradicts the first sentence. For example, I do this, but you do that. Contradicts the first, or it can be used for an argument. For example, if someone says this, and then you said, but there is something else, for example. And as for and, it's like saying, for example, the first tense maybe contrast. As for and is like saying and, but it contrasts the second tense. For example, I do this and I do that, or I do this and you do that, for example. It contrasts both sentences. The next one is coordination. Coordination and. This is pretty straightforward. And it coordinates the first tense with the second tense, or coordinates what someone else says, like this and that, you and me, and that, and so on and so forth. The next one is disjunction. The word is or. This you can use it just like but in this one, the tenses you say with or, I do this or I do that, have the same value. You just someone or you have to choose which one is the most right one. For example, I do this, you do that. I do this or I do that. For example, they have the same value. Digression. There's only one word. Anyway. So anyway, it's like it's like going to another conversation. So anyway, what happened yesterday? For example, you're talking about something, and then that one guy that we all hate just say, so anyway, I much and humble bragging about him every single day. So anyway, this happened to me today. Well, no one cares about that. And for this one, I'll be talking about structural cognitive. The first one with the function signals, link, and transitions between topics. For example, there is now, okay, right, well, let's start. Let's discuss. Let me conclude the discussion first, then finally. This is for changing the conversation or starting up the conversation or finishing up the conversation. For example, now let's talk about or let's start the discussion. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. And for finally, it's done. Or finally, let's talk about something else. Yeah, something like that. Next, I'll be talking about structural cognitive again, but with the function marks continuation of the current topic. A few words for this. There is yeah, and, cause, and so. A lot of them use referential markers, but they use interpersonal markers usually. It continues the topic of the conversation. Yeah, yeah, that's great. And this, and that, and cause because of this, or so, the consequences, and so on and so forth. Next, we'll be talking about cognitive. The function of cognitive is denotes the thinking process of one person or a group of a group of people. Sorry. There are something like well, and I think, I see, I mean. In other words, sort of, and your favorite and. Uh, well, what about, or, well, I think that, or I see, but, I mean, you said that, but what about this one? Or, in other words, what you're saying is that it denotes the thinking process of a person to a higher level. Um, Thank you for watching this video today. I hope you learned something from that, whatever I'm saying today. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.